Hey guys, hope all are doing great. And in the today's series 2, which is Foundation Paper 2, we're going to analyze some of the basics which we need to consider while doing an analysis. That means which you need to do it before start studying any of the subjects in your Foundation Paper 2. Yeah, perfect. Okay, so Paper 2 is Fundamentals of Accounting, and many people will feel very easier to understand the accounting. And in case if you're one among them and you are good to complete your foundation paper 2, which is the fundamentals of accounting. Okay, so many people will feel, as I already mentioned, easier to understand this part, I mean the accounting part. One reason is that person might be from a finance background or a commerce background. He or she will feel easier to understand debit, credit, what are the golden rules, whatever we have, then the some of the entries, what are the journal entries, what are the ledgers, what are the accounting cycle we have. It becomes easier for him to understand the accounting. That is the first person who is from the commerce background. And the second set of people is the person who is not from a commerce background but is interested in commerce or is interested in a finance. So that person also will feel interest. His or her passion will make him or her to complete the fundamentals of accounting study very interesting. And the third set of people I see very rarely is the people from the non-commerce background but feel little difficult. He or she might become from an uh, the science background, or might have come from a BE background, something like that. So those kind of people might feel little difficulty in the accounting. But however, trust me guys, in case if you're starting your journey, that is your CMA journey from the foundation level, fundamentals of all the subjects, that is paper 1, 2, 3, 4, are very easy, provided you put your heart and soul along with the effort, with the time. Very important. So you can have passion, you can have the interest, but in case if you don't give the time, if you don't try to give your effort, it becomes just a waste of time, your time as well as for the uh, people who are invested on you, might be your parents or your brother, sister, sibling, whoever it is. Yeah. Okay, so let's try to understand some of the important stuff which you need to do it, which you need to analyze before studying the paper 2, which is the fundamentals of accounting. So this is paper is FOA. The reason why mention about this also is because you also need to know that you are studying your fundamentals of accounting. The code also should be clearly known, because just imagine when there are two different syllabus. Let's say we have 2016 syllabus, we have 2019 syllabus. You need to know that you are picking the right one, because in future when new syllabus comes, we don't know what is the code which institute gives for your subject. So you need to ensure that you are preparing for the fundamentals of accounting. Yeah. Okay, perfect. So as you already know that getting 40 percentage is not a difficult based on our previous discussion. That is 40 percentage or 40 marks. And but getting 50 percentage or 50 uh, marks, I mean the 50% aggregate marks, is the challenging one. So for that, what you need to do, you just need to do a thorough analysis of each of this subject. Out of 4 subjects, let's say you are trying to attempt one group at a time. Let's say that in the foundation we have only 4 subjects which you need to attempt at one shot. But however, in case if you are going for intermediate 1 and 2, if you are planning only to attempt one group out of 4 subjects, pick the easiest which is very interesting for you, pick the one which is not interested for you, pick an average subject for you. So do a complete kind of SWOT analysis and try to see which subject can get you more than 60%. And in case if you are able to get that more than 60% in 1 or 2 subject, and getting this is just a easier task for you. Yeah. Okay, so having said that, let's try to understand how you can try to get 40 percentage, or um, I mean 40 marks minimum and 50 percentage, more than 50 percentage to get the aggregate passing in your foundation level. So one more important I would like to mention to you guys is that, remember, not only in foundation level, in your intermediate also, if you know the accounting properly, that is the subject which will help you to get more than 55-60 marks, and which will be helpful for you to aggregate to get the overall 50 percentage in that particular group. Yeah. So ensure that you do not give less importance. So always your importance should be at par, it should be more than at par. Yeah. So if having said that, in case if you're preparing for the fundamentals of accounting, the complete syllabus is split into 80% for fundamentals of accounting and cost accounting, which is given 20% of importance. But having said that, this is very easy in case if you give your time and your passion. The reason why I'm telling is this person, that is a cost accounting, should be completely learned at the fundamental level, because in case if you try to ignore here, you will be missing in your intermediate level. You'll also miss to understand some of the concept in the final level, because this cost accounting carries in both the groups, that is your intermediate, I mean the levels, intermediate and the final level. So do not miss this. Yeah. So with this 20%, I would like to tell you that getting 10 to 12 marks is not a difficult case. Even if you prepare at the worst level, getting 10 to 12 marks is not at all a difficult task. Yeah. So prepare the basics. So having said that, if you come to the foundation, I mean the fundamentals of financial accounting, you'll have some of the concepts. Some people might be feeling difficulty, especially with accounting for special transactions. Some people might be feeling difficulty in the final accounts, but doesn't matter. Okay, so let me try to give some of the important points which you can use for your analysis. Yeah, so you're ready to get 10 marks here. Yeah, so remaining is to get more than 55. Let's say 60 marks, you just need to get another 50 marks. So you are be given 80 marks here, so you need to just plan at least to get or attempt in an examination at 50 to 60%, and with that getting 50 marks is not at all a difficult for a difficult task for you. Yeah, so let's see how you can do that analysis. Yeah, okay, so as you already know, this will be tested at the 3 hours. Objective is to know the basics of the accounting, financial statements, principles, procedures for accounting, and their applications in the different practical situations. Remember, practical situation very important. You might have studied in your exam, I mean your +1 +2, about the debit, credit, the principles of accounting, whatever it is, and the golden rules, all those stuff. But you should be knowing how you need to apply those things in your practical situations, because you are going to be an professionals in the future. Yeah, so you need to prepare based on those things. Okay, so learning aim also has been given, so which we already discussed in our previous class. But however, I mean the previous video, however, this learning objective will work based on the skills which is required for accounting, which is required for different situations. Okay, so you also need to know the this is not a code, it's a cost and management accounting for the managerial decision. Okay, you're going to be a manager, you're going to be a leader in the future. For that, you're going to prepare this subject as a professional. Yeah, okay, so perfect. With this, if you come to this subject wise, so see, this is the 80% mark which is being given for the fundamentals of accounting. So if in case if you know the debit, credit, golden rules, principles of accounting, so if in case if you're knowing some of the topics which is related to the capital and revenue transaction, which is you'll be tested at a very basics level. If you know the capital and revenue receipts, so you should be knowing about the journal entry, trial balance, all those things. This is very easy for you to get the good marks. So with this 35%, I mean 35 marks, you can ask me, Satish sir, how much I can get it? In the worst case, guys, 20. The worst case, I'm telling you. If you just go try to answer some of the things, whatever you are studied in your +1 +2 or whatever it is, it becomes easier for you. 20 marks at the worst case, I'm telling you. So we have the accounting for special transaction. I'll just tell you which are the important things which you need to concentrate in this entire fundamentals of accounting. So we have 20%, which is the special transaction. So this includes the sum of the transactions or the entries related to the bills of exchange and consignment and joint venture. some students feel very difficult to understand this subject, because I still have some of the students, they just worry, sir, what is consignment, who is a consignee, who is a consigner, all those stuff I have. But I just given some of the hints for them how to remember all those things with an example. Yeah, so if in case if you feel some doubts you have in any of the subjects or any of the topic, you can leave a comment under the video that is in the comment section. For sure I'll try to help you with the uh, knowledge whatever I have with me. Yeah, so we have the 25% given, for 25 marks given to the final accounts, and you just need to prepare your profit and loss account. You also need to prepare, this includes your manufacturing and trading account, followed by your balance sheets. So if you just draw a format, just try to dump what comes in the trading account, what comes in the profit and loss account, and what were the things items flows in the balance sheet, you will be getting at least, the worst case I'm telling you guys, in this I forgot to tell you, so in the worst case I'm trying to take 5 marks here. See, 20 percentage 5 marks, I'm taking a very good number for you guys. So out of this 25 percentage, 15 percentage is not at all difficult for you. Yeah, so similar way I also told you cost accounting is very difficult. You can get at least 10 to 12 marks, but I'm just taking the least, which is the worst number, which is the 10 number here, 10 marks. So put together you can see the marks, 20, 30, 40, 50, you're done. Yeah, so that is what the analysis you need to give. Out of these numbers I'm just taking all the numbers in the worst scenario, guys. So but it is not difficult, it is you who need to have the knowledge and comprehends the subject whatever is been given in this subject. Perfect. Hope you have got some information, because I already told you I'll be just giving a guidance to you guys. You need to follow based on your skills, based on the knowledge whatever you have in any of the subject. Yeah, so having said that, if I go to the topic level, at the fundamental level you have the accounting basic. This includes what is debit, what is credit, um, what are the important concepts related to a journal entry, ledgers, all those things. You'll be tested here. But when it comes to your special transaction, I already mentioned consignment, joint ventures, some of the concepts will be discussed here, including the bills of exchange. So balance sheet, profit and loss account will be discussed here. Basics of cost management, this includes all very basic things. What is cost, what is the cost center, all those things will be discussed there. Yeah, so if I come in depth of this subtopic, you have the subtopics here. You have the principles of accounting, concepts, conventions. You will be having 4 conventions, some 9 to 10 concepts. All those things should be understood here. Build the story behind these things, guys, so it becomes easier for you to understand this. So you need to understand about capital and revenue expenditure transactions. You also need to discuss about capital and revenue receipts, very important. Double entry system, which you already studied in your +1 +2 of graduation. Prime entry, subsidiary entry, cash book. This will be very easier for you in case if you're done your +1 +2. The reason I keep telling +1 +2 is, guys, I see most of the students are come from +1 +2. That is the reason I just mentioned them about this. Yeah, so you need to understand what is journal entry, how to prepare, especially the formats, guys, very important. You need to know the format. If you know the format properly, so I'm just using the pen, so handwriting will be very beautiful, please bear with me. Yeah, so you need to know the format, very important. In case if you don't know the format, write it down in a sheet, stick near your study table or the place where you frequently walk in your homes. That is one of the a beautiful method I would like to say that you can follow there. And depreciation, you will be tested under the straight line method, diminishing balance method only. So you have the sum of digits method, insurance method, so some of the other difficult methods I would like to say at the foundation level. Those things will be not there for you, but however I suggest you, whenever they give the depreciation methods, just try to understand what is depreciation along with straight line method and diminishing balance method, the format or formula whatever it is. Ensure you also try to write some of the other methods so that you can impress the examiner. Yeah, so you also need to understand the rectification or of error. This again few people will feel difficult, but however I suggest, if in case you practice well, this is just an easy task for you. Yeah, so this part is little difficult, guys. Some people will feel still difficult, but however I suggest you try to have some a good planner so that it becomes easier for you based on your knowledge and experience. So bank reconciliation, very important. Do not skip this. This person will get you a good marks, at least 5 marks, I can assure you. Yeah, so similar way, if I go to the next topic or the subtopic in the fundamentals of accounting, you have the special transactions. You'll be tested on the bills of exchange, consignment, joint ventures. Similar way, you need to ensure that you prepare on this special transaction. Yeah, perfect. So with this, we also have the final accounts, as already mentioned, into know the balance sheet, profit and loss account, along with the manufacturing or a trading account. So you need to prepare a profit making concerns, a sole proprietorship concern only, that is a final account. So this includes these two topic and subtopic, not profit making concern, where you need to write about, I mean, prepare uh, the receipts and payments. You also need to prepare income and the expenditure. Perfect. Hope you understood some concept on this one. Yeah. So similar way, as already mentioned to you guys. So fundamentals of costing, you will be tested at the basics of the costing concepts. So you'll be asked about the costing concepts, relationship, that is the difference between the financial accounting and the management accounting, along with the cost management. Some of the meaning definitions will be tested under the cost, I mean the classification of cost. Format of cost, you need to remember, I think CAS 4, I trust, I don't remember exactly, but CAS 4 is what the cost accounting standard, I mean standard, which talks about the format of the cost. So you just try to see which is very easier for you in this case. Yeah, but however, I suggest not to leave this person, very interesting fellow, but however very critical fellow. In case if you miss this person, you will be ending and losing 20% in your examination. Yeah, so having said that, as I already mentioned to you guys, so this contains huge number of pages, but pages doesn't matter for us. Understand the concept. So each things you need to break into pieces and sub pieces, so that it becomes easier for you. So if you see, this carries around 116 pages. Yeah, so let me see how many pages it is in this. Yeah, it carries around 128 pages. Very important person. As already mentioned, you have all the basic rectification, double entry, concepts, conventions, all those things you have. Bank reconciliation. Ensure you have a planner. Planner is very important. Try to break this into pieces and sub pieces, so that it becomes an interesting factor for you to study in your uh, study planner, or I mean to follow the study planner. Yeah, perfect guys. So I'll be not repeating the same thing whatever I already told in your previous video. So ensure you try to break this entire topic into main topic and subtopic, and try to see how many pages are there in each topic. Break that into pieces and sub pieces I already mentioned. Then accordingly you will be good to understand this complete concept. Yeah, so however I will mention to you guys, so MCQ questions is carried, I mean prepared, updated in each of the subject, I mean like each of the chapter. Ensure you do not miss that one. Yeah, so having said that, yeah, so key points I already mentioned to you guys. So these key points remains same for all the foundation level, but however I'll try to give some of the important thing which you need to have for a specific subject. Yeah, so ensure that you know the list of formulas. So in accounting you might not have a big formulas, but however ensure you have the formats. Yeah, so formula and formats, 20 to 30 days planner is more sufficient guys. Yeah, so you need to know the fundamentals, definition, meaning of each of the topic and the subtopic. So MCQs of each chapter very important, but there are some of the equations which will always confuse you, but ensure you know the right answer in your I mean during your study time. Yeah, so two revision is sufficient, but however some people, in case if you're from a commerce background, I would suggest a one revisionary is more sufficient. Yeah, two mock tests I already mentioned. So try to download some of the previous year question papers from the icmai.in portal, and try to write the mock test in a real environment, that is examination environment, so that you are become strong. You will not have any panicness before the actual examination. Yeah, so as already mentioned, format and the way you answer should be in a professional way. Ensure that you do not miss anything in this case. Yeah, so formula, all those things are already told. Ensure you follow this one. But when it comes to the specific to the fundamentals of accounting, ensure that you know the concepts, very important. Then no further reference book is required. One study material is more sufficient for you. Yeah, so study material is more sufficient for you, because that carries most of the important topics and subtopics which is required from the examination point of view. Yeah, so the important things which you need to remember in this complete fundamentals of accounting is, we should be knowing the accounting cycle, cost sheet, very important, practical problems, some on the final accounts, you might be asked about the consignment, you'll be asking something about the journal entry, ledgers. All those things should be completely understood and ensure you know the format neatly. And concepts and conventions also is very very important thing. Yeah, so as already mentioned, 20 to 30 days is a more sufficient for you guys to complete this person. Yeah, who is this person? Let me delete this. Yeah, who is this person? Our interesting fellow. Fundamentals of accounting. Perfect. Hope some sort of information you got. In case if you got some sort of information, hit that like button. Ensure you share with your friends. Sharing is caring is what I trust in life. Yeah, so with that, I would like to say thank you for watching this video. Ensure you make use of this video. If you have any questions, comments with regards to what are the topic and subtopic, drop your comments in below this video. And with that, we'll meet with the next video in the paper 3. So this is Satish signing off for the Resume Checker, and bye bye.